Sawubona mngani. Welcome back to Mama Thando's isiZulu classroom, where learning isiZulu is fun. isiZulu simnandi. Igama lami uMama Thando. Ubani igama lakho? Ngiyajabula ukukwazi. Let's sing the Sawubona song and greet all the friends around the world. Sawubona, sawubona, unjani mngani? Sondela hlala phansi, sifunde mngani. Yebo, sawubona mngani. To say, my name is, in isiZulu, we say, igama lami u, and then we say the name. So, what I said to you is, igama lami uMama Thando. Igama is a name or a word. Lami is mine. And then I told you my name. uMama Thando is Mama Thando. Say after me. Igama lami u, and stop right there. Igama lami u. Very good, mngani. That's great. Now, I would like you to now say the whole thing with your name on it. So, when you say the u, say u amahle. Don't pause. Don't say u amahle. Don't pause. There is no break between the two. It's almost as if it's one word. Igama lami uMama Thando. If your name is Michael, then you would say igama lami uMichael. If your name is Sindisiwe, igama lami uSindisiwe. So, you try. Igama lami u, and say your name. Very good, mngani. That was great. Now, I then said, what's your name? Do you hear? I'm saying your name, not my name anymore. My name is igama lami. No. That's not my name. My name is not igama lami. My name is uMama Thando. I'm saying to say my name. We say igama lami. But now I'm saying your name. So I'm saying igama lakho. Your name. Igama lakho. Repeat that after me. Igama lakho. Very good. Now, the question we ask there is, what's your name? So to say that, we use the word ubani. That's the question word. Ubani. Now, repeat that after me. Ubani. Make sure that you make that B sound soft. Do you see that we have the vowel U, and then the letter B, and followed after that is another vowel, A. Ubani. There is no consonant around the letter B. So we are not making a different sound. We are making the very same sound as the sound of the week, the B on its own. Let me come closer and let me say the word, the question word. Ubani. Ubani. Repeat that after me. Ubani. Very good, mngani. Now, something a little funny. When we translate things from one language to another, sometimes words don't go exactly the same way. You know, I'm sure you know this from saying sawubona, that in English, we say, oh, it says hello, good morning, good afternoon, or whatever. But really what we are saying is, I see you. But we don't walk around and saying to people, I see you Sindisiwe, I see you Amahle. No, we don't say that. We just say sawubona, right? So that's the funny thing with language, that when we translate word for word, things can sound really weird and funny. So we often don't do it because, well, we just don't want to sound weird. Now, the question word ubani is who. When I ask you, who are you? I would say to you, ubani, or I can say ungubani. There's two ways to say it. Do you see that the difference is very, very small? The real difference really there is some people in the other areas say ungubani and others say ubani. So do you see that we still have that ubani in both those words? It's really saying, who are you? But when we ask you your name, in English, it then sounds a bit weird if we translate this question word for word, because then it would be like we are saying, who is your name? Just so wrong. So no, we don't translate word for word. We don't do that because it just sounds silly. So instead, we say what that same question is in English, and it is, what is your name? So the question word there is ubani, and that question word really says who. But the question we are asking is, what is your name? So let's say the whole question again. Ubani igama lakho. What is your name? Repeat the question after me. Ubani igama lakho. Oh, you're asking me. Mama Thando. Igama lami Mama Thando. I thought I told you already. Oh, you were repeating the question. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were asking me. Okay, so now we know how to say my name, igama lami. We now know how to say your name, igama lakho. Now let's add one more bit to it. Let's say his name or her name. Yeah? There is a very, very small change to this phrase. It is ke. Now we are going to say his name or her name. In isiZulu, it's going to be the same thing, because in isiZulu we don't change things and say them with the gender of the person that we are talking to. It's all u, which is he or she. So we are now going to say igama lakhe, his name or her name, igama lakhe. The only difference from the other ones we said, igama lami, we ended with mi. Igama lakho, we ended with ko, which is KHO. And now we are saying igama lakhe, we are ending with KHE. Now, will you repeat that after me? Igama lakhe. Very good, Mngani. Amahle, what's that? Let me introduce you to Amahle. Igama lakhe uAmahle. Oh, okay. This is what I'll tell them. She says, igama lami uAmahle. That was cute. Okay. Yeah. Hambalahle. So, did you see that? She says, igama lami uAmahle. But we were saying, igama lakhe. We were talking about her. So, igama lakhe uAmahle. If I want to know what her name is and I'm asking you, I would ask you this. Ubani igama lakhe. What is her name? Or what is his name? Repeat that question after me. Ubani igama lakhe? Very good, Mngani. That was good. Now let's answer that question. What is her name? Her name is Amahle. Igama lakhe uAmahle. Will you repeat that after me? Igama lakhe uAmahle. Very good, Mngani. Igama lakhe uAmahle. Her name is Amahle. I've got pictures here of some famous people. I'm going to ask you what their names are, and then I would like you to then answer in a full sentence and say, his name is, and you say the person's name. Her name is, and you say the person's name. Let's start. Ubani igama lakhe? Did you say igama lakhe uNelson Mandela? Very good, Mngani. Ubani igama lakhe? Did you say igama lakhe uBrenda Fassie? Great job, Mngani. You're doing good at this. Ubani igama lakhe? Did you say igama lakhe uMiriam Makeba? You are doing so very well, Mngani. Shayizandla, Mngani. That was really good. Now, we know my name, igama lami, your name, igama lakho, his name or her name, igama lakhe. And we also know how to ask a question. What is your name? What is his name? Or what is her name? We say, Ubani igama lakho. What's your name? Ubani igama lakhe. What's her name? Or what's his name? You've done really, really good at this, Mngani. Now, we did all of that. We didn't even sing our Sawubona song. I think we can still do it now, can't we? Let's do it. Sawubona, sawubona, unjani mngani? Sondela hlala phansi, sifunde mngani. Yebo mngani, sawubona. Unjani? Let's sing the Imizwa Yethu song, so that we can pick just the right word for how we are feeling this morning.
Imizwa yethu. Imizwa yethu. Mina nginemizwa, wena unemizwa, yena unemizwa, bona banemizwa, sonke sinemizwa. Mina nginjani, ngabe ngiyaphila, ngabe ngidumele, ngabe ngikhathele, ngabe nginjani. Mina ngiyaphila, ngabe wena unjani, ngabe uyaphila, ngabe uyagula, ngabe ujabule. Wena uyaphila, yena unjani. Ngabe udangele, ngabe ukhathele, ngabe uneme, yena uyaphila, bona banjani, ngabe bayaphila, ngabe bayakhala, ngabe bathokozile, bona bayaphila, thina sinjani, ngabe siyaphila, ngabe sineme, ngabe sijabule, thina sijabule, thina sijabule.
So I ask you again, unjani? Oh, thank you for letting me know. Mina ngiyaphila mngani. Actually, I should be telling the truth. Ngijabule, because it's raining still. It rained the whole night and it's still raining. But it's still that light rain that we had yesterday. So it's quite nice on my garden. Really, really nice. So that's why I'm so happy namhlanje, because of the rain. So now let's move on to the days of the week. Izinsuku zesonto. I'm going to give you a look at them, read them, sound them out, sing them if you need to. That's enough, I think. Now, I hope I've hidden them. I hope I can hide. Yeah, I think I've hidden all of them. So now I would like to ask you a couple of questions. Yeah? Okay. Looking at the days of the ukukhomba. Nangukhomba. Igama lakhe ukhomba. His name is Khomba. So, looking at the days of the week here on the side, one of the days of the week is in the wrong place. Which day is it? Say all the days of the week out loud if you need to. Sing them out loud or in your head if you need to. And see which one is in the wrong place. Are you done? Which day of the week is in the wrong place? Did you say uLwesibili? Very good, Mngani. That was great. Halala. Yebo, uLwesibili. uLwesibili is in the wrong place. Because it says isonto umsombuluko uLwesithathu uLwesibili. So let's bring it back to the correct place. Now there we have the days of the week. Now, Mngani, namhlanje uLwesibili. Today is Tuesday. We already know that. But let's say today was Wednesday. What day would it be then? Tomorrow. So, uma namhlanje uLwesithathu, kuzobe uLwesingaki kusasa. If today is Wednesday, what day will it be tomorrow? Did you say uLwesine? Wonderful. Good job, Mngani. You're doing so great. Really, really good, Mngani. I am so proud of you. Now looking at the days of the week again. One of the days of the week is missing something. Looking at the days of the week again. One of the days of the week is not written correctly. I'm not talking about simply spelling the letters, but just paying attention to the alphabets, whether they are uppercase or capital letters or lowercase, small letters. Which one is not written correctly? Did you say uMgqibelo? Yebo mngani, you're right. uMgqibelo. The M is supposed to be uppercase. It's supposed to be a capital letter. Every time we write the days of the week, if the day of the week is at the beginning of a sentence, then the first vowel will be a capital letter, an uppercase. And then also the second letter, which is a consonant, will also be a capital letter, an uppercase. And then the rest of the word is lower case, small letters. But if the day of the week is in the middle of the sentence somewhere, is not the first word in the sentence, then the vowel will be lowercase, small letter, and then the next consonant will then be an uppercase, a capital letter. So that first consonant is always uppercase or a capital letter all the time. It doesn't change. Whether it is at the beginning of the sentence or it's in the middle of the sentence, it doesn't matter. So, uMgqibelo, that M was a small letter. So that is how that was wrong. Very good, Ngani, for spotting it. Now, we are going to have a sit-down lesson. So, sit down, get your notebook out, and let's learn. If you find that I'm moving a little fast for you, pause and read whatever it is on the screen that you're supposed to read, and write down whatever it is that you need to take notes on, and say things out loud when you need to, so that you are not left behind. Just pause. And then you come back still to the video and play and listen to the rest of the lesson. So let's get on to that lesson now.
Mngani, it is important to have watched the What is Ibizo lesson before you watch this one. So take that lesson first and make sure you understand what is Ibizo and Amabizo, and then now we move on with this one. So Amabizo, or nouns, that we are going to learn about today are nouns that start with the letters so and umu, umu, when they are singular. So you remember these, Mngani, because we spoke about them in the previous lesson. And we saw that when these nouns, or amabizo, are plural, their prefix changes to aba, which is aba, or abe, which is abe. These nouns that we will talk about are only people, not things, not ideas, not places, just people. So first, let's bring back some information that will help you to better understand what we are going to learn. Ibizo is the word for a noun in isiZulu. Nouns are amabizo. A noun is a word for a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. In English, when we want to tell if a noun is singular, so just one thing, we look at the end of the noun, of the word. And also if it is plural, we look at the end of the word, and there we are looking out for the letter S or ES or IES. Those are the letters that we see when a word is plural in English. Then we know it is plural. In isiZulu, to see if a noun is singular or plural, we must look at the beginning of the noun, so at the very start of the word. What we look at the beginning of the noun are what is called a prefix. That is the first 1 to 3 letters of the noun. That is what a prefix is. Let's look at these nouns as an example. Superman, television, unkind, rewrite. Here are the prefixes of these nouns. Super, tele, un, and re for the last one. Those are prefixes. You can find them on many other English words. Here are a few words, nouns, we have learned during the past 24 lessons we've had so far. Umama, umngani, umfundi, ibhalunde, isikipha, isikhindi, ikepisi, ibhulukwe, ukuthula, umntwana. These prefixes are so very important. You see them in these words. Umama, it's u. Umngani, it's umfundi, ibhalunde, I. Isikipha, isi. Isikhindi, isi. Ikepisi, I. Ibhulukwe, I. Ukuthula, uku. Umntwana, They are very important, these prefixes. And so learning about them is not going to be fast. We will take our time to learn them so that you understand all of them really well. Now that you know what a prefix is, let's get on today's lesson. The nouns in isiZulu have groups, and these groups are 8.5 groups. Nouns starting with the same letters are grouped together. There are a lot of nouns that start with these prefixes: umu, abe, and aba. If you can get a dictionary, this Oxford one, let me show you. Get this Oxford dictionary for scholars, so students. I use this one because, well, I know isiZulu, so I use this one. But you can get yourself the other one because all the words are listed with their prefixes already. Whereas in the one that I use, you have the root of the word, you'll find out soon what that is, and instead of the prefix. So it will be a bit more work for you to find the word you are looking for in this one that I love dearly. But this one is for me, I said. The other one, the Oxford one, get yourself this one. I think it's wonderful for children, for scholars, students, university students, and high school students, and primary school students. This is great. So now we are looking at these dictionaries. You'll then be able to find a word easily. Just go to the list that starts with and you'll find so many of them that we are talking about. The and umu prefixes are for singular nouns. The aba and abe prefixes are for plural nouns. Let me tell you now, we won't be using the abe prefix much. There are very few words that use the prefix abe. Don't you worry about it though. I will tell you what they are. I'll actually also give you a list of them that you can download for free on my website. So don't worry about that, mngani. Let's look at a few nouns, amabis, that we have used in a lot in these past few weeks. Umngani, a friend. You are umngani wami, you are my friend. I say to you, mngani, I call you that because, well, when I'm talking to you, I won't say that, we've spoken about that in the past. Umuntu, we've used that a lot. That is a person. Umfundi, a student. Umntwana, a child or a baby. These nouns are all singular. Look at the first 2 to 3 letters of each noun. Let's match it to the singular prefixes that we know, the umu and the We only want the letters on these prefixes. No other letters, just those prefixes. Let's look at one noun at a time. The first one, umngani. Look at the first letters. The noun has u. There's an u in the prefix. The next letter is m, which is m, and both prefixes have m as well. So do you see? The next letter on the noun is n. So we don't have any letter that matches that in our prefixes, both the prefixes that we are learning about. So that means that the prefix here is only. Because this noun starts with that is how we know that it is singular. Let's remove this prefix, that Look what we have left now. Ngani. This is the main part of the noun, mngani. This is the part that doesn't change. For most nouns, the main part of the noun doesn't have any meaning whatsoever. This part of the noun is called the root of the noun. Remember when I was talking about this dictionary, I said the nouns are listed by their roots. That's what I'm talking about. So if you are looking for the word umngani in this dictionary, you would have to remove the prefix and look for ngani and you'll find it. Now, whereas in the other dictionary, you have to just start looking from and then you'll find umngani. Now, we have ngani left. Let's look at the prefixes we have again. Umu and for singular nouns, aba and abe for plural nouns. These prefixes are just waiting for us to use them. So let's do just that, mngani. We already know what this noun was when it was singular, umngani, one friend. Now that we have removed the prefix we can now add the plural prefix so that we can see what the noun is when it is plural. Remember, I said we won't be using that abe prefix very much. So forget about it for now. I'll mention it much later. So, yebo, you aren't using it here. We will use the aba prefix, and I will advise you to use the aba prefix for plural nouns if you don't know which one to use. Most of the time, you will be correct. Really, that abe one, we really use it such few times, such few words. The root of the noun here is ngani. Repeat that for me. Ngani. Very good, mngani. If we write the plural prefix there, aba, we now have the noun abangani. A friend is umngani, friends abangani. Let's use the second noun, umuntu. Let's compare the noun with the letters on the prefixes. Which prefix looks like it matches this noun's prefix the most? Have a look at it. We have a U, both sides, on the noun and on the prefix. The next is M, on both sides, on the noun and on the prefix. Followed by another U, both sides, on the prefix and on the noun. We have umu. Now, look, there is nothing else to compare. We have used all the prefixes letters. So now we know that the prefix on the noun umuntu is umu. Let's remove it now. There it goes. Hamba kahle. Now we are left with what? Look at the root of the word. Ntu. Let's add the prefix We've removed the prefix, the singular prefix. Now let's put in the plural prefix. Which one is it? Is it the aba prefix or the abe prefix? Yebo mngani, uqinisile. It's the aba prefix. I did tell you that we're not going to use that abe prefix. Hamba abe. Now we have abantu. Abantu. Those are people. So umuntu is one person, abantu, many people. Our third example is umfundi. Umfundi is a student, a learner, a reader. So someone who is reading, for example, if you wanted to say a person who is reading the news, a news reader. Umfundi wezindaba. Let's compare the first letters of the noun with the letters of the prefixes. There's U, there's M, and then the next letter is F. So we are done with the prefix already. Once we get to the F, we know that the prefix is just So we stop there. Now, look, the prefix for this noun is The root of the noun. What is the root of the noun? Let's remove the prefix. What are we left with? Fundi. Yebo mngani. Yebo. Halala. Fundi is what we are left with. Let's write the plural prefix on its root. Now let's write that plural prefix on this root. Now we have abafundi. Abafundi. Students. A student, umfundi. Students, abafundi. Let's go on to the fourth example. Umntwana. Umntwana is a child or a baby. I just want to add this because I think it's interesting to know. In isiZulu, we also use the word umntwana when we are referring to princes and princesses. So for example, when we are talking about the child of the king of AmaZulu, we will say umntwana and then say that person's name. So that prince or princess's name. So that would be the same as saying prince this. So for example, let's look at two names. There is Mandulo. That's the child's name, uMandulo. So then we would say umntwana uMandulo. So Prince Mandulo. And there is Buzabazi. Ubuzabazi. So now we want to say Prince Buzabazi. Then we say umntwana ubuzabazi. That's just an aside, just so that you know. That's another way we use umntwana. We now want to compare with the prefixes that we have. The singular prefixes we have is and umu. We have this noun, umntwana. So now let's compare. From the prefixes we have an u. There is u at the beginning of the word, umntwana. Then we move on to M. There's M there as well. And then what do we have next? There's an N. So it means then the prefix part is done. It's finished. We just have the UM. That's the prefix. Let's remove it because we know that this one is umntwana, a singular word, a child. Now let's remove that. And then we are left with what? Ntwana. Ntwana. That's the root of the noun. So if you're looking for this noun in some dictionaries, you'll have to look using this root. So you'll have to go to N, and then followed by T, W, what. Now we have ntwana. We can now add the plural prefix. What's the plural prefix we are using? Aba. So which prefix are we using? Aba. So let's write aba at the beginning of that word, and then we have abantwana, children. So if we are wanting to say children of the king of AmaZulu, abantwana besilo samaZulu. the children of the king of Amazulu. Now that we have seen all of that together, I would like you to try doing this on your own. I will give you a singular noun, then you make it plural. Take your time, pause the video, work on it, then come back into the lesson and check how you did. The first one is umfana. Umfana, a boy. How did you do? What's the plural of umfana? So what is boys? NgesiZulu. Did you say abafana? If you did, halala mngani, you did very well. Halala. The next one, umfowethu. Umfowethu. So that is brother. Pause the video and work on it. Usuqedile? How did you do? Did you say abafowethu? Abafowethu are brothers. Brothers. We spoke about this very important part of these nouns, but let me remind you. For you to make the noun that starts with and umu to be a plural noun with the prefix aba and abe, the nouns have to be people. If they aren't people, nope, it doesn't belong here. You cannot use it. So if it is a thing, if it is a place, it's not. It does not belong here. Even if you see a word that starts with or umu, if that noun is not a person, then it will not start with aba or abe when it is plural. And so you must use your dictionary, isichazamazwi, to find out if that ibizo is a person or a thing. Even if it is something that comes from a person, like a leg, umlenze. Do you see? Umlenze. It starts with a But a leg is not a person. It belongs to a person. It's part of the human body or an animal's body, but it is not a person. So it is a thing. So when you make it plural, you can't say abalenze. There is no such thing. It is not a thing. It does not belong here at all. So we don't want it here. We only want people. Even if you are talking about occupations like a nurse, a doctor, a teacher, a plumber, a whatever, a fashion designer, a cook, a chef, whatever it is that you can think of, those are people. So they belong here. But it cannot be a thing. If once it's a thing, once it's not a person, it doesn't belong here. I hope you understand what I'm saying, Mngani. I'm stressing it a lot because it's so important. There are other nouns that start with that don't fit here, like I just said, with umlenze. That don't start with aba or abe when they are plural, like umama. But when you look at it, it looks like the prefix is doesn't it? That can be a bit confusing. We will learn about those nouns in future because you need to know, hey, but this one looks like it belongs there, but it doesn't. But for now, let us look at these that become aba and abe when they are plural. Now, remember I said we will talk about those abe nouns later? It's later now. So let's talk about them now. Here is a list of them that use the prefix abe when they are plural. Some of them, when you see them when they are singular, you can tell that, oh, this one is going to be abe, but others, it's not so easy to tell at all, actually. So it's one of those things that you just have to memorize, Mngani. You've got to memorize them. So here they are. I will tell you the singular and then the plural. And then I would like you to then pronounce the word. So say the word after me. The very first one I'm going to start with is important for you to get the pronunciation very well. Because I taught you that there are two words that look exactly the same, but they have two different pronunciations and two different meanings. Umfundisi is a teacher. It's not a commonly used word for teacher, but it is a teacher. And when it is plural, it is abafundisi. So it doesn't belong to this list. Now I'm talking about the one that belongs to this list of the abe nouns. So listen to the different pronunciation now. Umfundisi. The other one, umfundisi. A teacher, umfundisi. A preacher or a pastor, umfundisi. Do you hear that we don't pull the ndi on the preacher one? We only pull it on the teacher one. So just keep that in mind. It's very important to be able to tell between the two. So umfundisi, the preacher, is when it's plural, it is abefundisi. Repeat that after me. Umfundisi, abefundisi. Good, Mngani. The next one, umlungu. Umlungu is a white person. The plural of it is abelungu. Repeat it after me. Umlungu, abelungu. Very good, Mngani. Umelusi. Umelusi is a shepherd. So someone who takes care of sheep and cows and goats, stuff like that. Yeah, shepherd. So umelusi. The plural is abelusi. Abelusi. But you might find that some people might say umalusi. That is also very correct, but we don't use it a whole lot. So repeat these words after me. Umelusi, abelusi. Kuhle mngani. The next one is umsuthu. And that is the people of the cultural group that is called Suthu in English, which I don't think is correct. But anyway, Suthu, Suthu in isiZulu, and the plural of it is abesuthu. So repeat that after me. Suthu, abesuthu. Kuhle mngani. Now, the others that I'm going to give you, they are singular nouns. They don't start with So I'll just give you the plural only. And then when you download that list from the website, you'll see what they are when they're singular. So here they are. Females, not women, but females. Abesifazane. Repeat it after me. Abesifazane. Yebo. Abesilisa. Repeat that after me. Abesilisa. Those are males. Abesilisa. Repeat it after me. Very good, Mngani. Abesimame. Still, females. Abesimame. Repeat it after me. Yebo. Keep this list of nouns. You can download it from my website and keep it in your notebook so that you know which nouns or words use the prefix abe. Mngani, let's do a little activity. For each noun that I show you, answer this. Is this noun a person or is it a thing? If it is a person, make it plural. Let's start. Write down all the words and all your answers, and we'll get back to them soon. Right now, let's start. Mhlophe. Mhlophe. A friend, an acquaintance. Umgodi. Umgodi. A hole. Umculi. Umculi. A singer. Umbala. Umbala. A color. Umthungi. Umthungi. A fashion designer. A seamstress. Umhlangano. Umhlangano. A meeting. Umshayeli. Umshayeli. A driver. Umlenze. Umlenze. A leg. Umndeni. Umndeni. A family. Umgibeli. Umgibeli. A passenger. Umlomo. Umlomo. A mouth. Umqashi. Umqashi. An employer. Umfula. Umfula. A river. Now, let's see. How did you do? Let's see which one you said was a person and which one you said was a thing. Mhlophe. Did you say it's a person? That's good, Mngani. Umgodi. Did you say it's a thing? Did you get it right? Yay! Umculi. A person. Umbala. A thing. You know this one. Umbala owolinji. Umbala omnyama. Umbala ophuzi. Umthungi. A person. Umhlangano. A thing. Umshayeli. A driver is a person. Umlenze. A thing. Umndeni. A thing. Even though a family is made up of people, but when we say the word family itself, it is a thing. Umgibeli. A person. Umlomo. Even though a mouth is in a person, but it is still a thing. Umqashi. A person. Umfula is a thing. Did you get that right? So if you got those right, I am so proud of you. If you did not, do not stress. You still have time to redo this. Take your time and do it again. Take your time, maybe even tomorrow. Go back to it again and look at it. watch the lesson again and see, oh, this is what I missed. And then also, you've got the words right there that are translating it into English for you. So take the time to just go through them bit by bit. Now you are then supposed to then take the ones that are people and make them plural. Let's see how you did. Mhlophe. Did you say abahlobo? Yay, Mngani, very good. Abahlobo, those are friends, acquaintances. Umculi. Did you say abaculi? Is in singers? Yay! Very good, Mngani, shaya izandla. The next one, umthungi. Did you say abathungi? Yay! Fashion designers, seamstresses. Umshayeli. Did you say abashayeli? Oh, Mngani, you're doing so well. I'm so happy. Umgibeli. Did you say abagibeli? Passengers? This is going so well. Umqashi. Did you say abaqashi? Very, very good, Mngani. Shaya izandla, Mngani, you did so well. Halala. I am so, so proud of you. I am also going to make another video for you to practice this some more. We will do a Kahoot exercise, and you can also find that Kahoot link and just go and do the Kahoot by yourself at any time so that you can keep practicing. So we'll see you on that video for that one. Now, on my website, you are also going to find a list of all these different nouns that start with and umu when they are singular, and then they start with abe when they are plural. Download that if you can, print it, or even copy it so that you try and memorize it. And what I would like you to do is not only just see, oh, it's singular, it's plural, but also, Mngani, also learn what it is in whatever language that you speak. So if you are speaking isiTsonga at home, then learn it in isiTsonga. If you speak English at home, learn it in isiNgisi to know what is this in my language. That way you're going to actually remember it, right? And then remember, you also need to learn how to pronounce it correctly and how to spell it correctly.
Wow, Mngani, that was a really, really good lesson. A whole lot of learning that we've done. Don't stress. You don't have to take in everything all today. Take time practicing everything that we are reading day by day. Go back to the other things that we've learned as well, and just take your time and learn them and practice them. If you need to watch the video again, watch the video again, and keep practicing. When you meet people outside or at school, at home, and I don't know, in your neighborhood, at the shops, at church, at the anywhere, try and practice speaking isiZulu with other people so that you can use what you are learning and practice until you get very comfortable speaking isiZulu. Now, before you go, I think we really need to stretch because we really were sitting down for a long time. So let's do that right now. Sukuma, shaya izandla, shona phansi, phezulu, celeni, jikeleza, jikeleza. Ngiyabonga. Mina ngizokubona kusasa. Sala kahle mngani.